Amazing. I'm so excited. So I'm Kristen Carter. I'm a full-time agent out of the Phoenix area, and I also teach about AI. So a little background: prior to doing real estate, and I just told the story to the people who were live in the room, but prior to doing real estate, I was a photographer, which also meant that I was a retoucher, and I did some digital stuff for people, but I've always been in the tech space. And so anytime something new and techie comes out in real estate, I'm testing it out. I'm seeing if it's something that we can use in our business, and or something that I can share with others, to give them a leg up in their business, because I was given so many opportunities as a new agent that I always like to give back. So when AI came out and ChatGPT was the new thing, a few of us started playing with it and trying to figure out, how do we use this? What do we do with it? Can we use it for business, or is this just to like screw around on the internet? And obviously we now know that you can use it for your business, and there's a lot of really cool things to do. When it first came out, though, it was terrible. It was awful. It was like you push the button and you didn't know what was going to come back. It was a surprise every time. And so now, 3.5 years later, we've advanced to where we are. Nobody is truly an expert in this field. We're all still developing because everything's going at such a lightning speed. So don't ever feel like you're so far behind that you can't start. That's the biggest myth, I think, with tech or with AI, with anything else. If it's something that you desire to learn, jump in, figure it out, learn how to make something work for your business. And even if it's just a little piece of the AI pie that shaves off 30 minutes of your day, that's amazing. And I'm never going to be the one to tell you guys that AI should be used for everything, because I don't believe that. I think it has specific uses. I think it's a great tool. And I think it's an enhancement to your business. We don't want it to become a replacement for you. So for that reason, what we're going to work on today is, a lot of people are using AI and ChatGPT and Gemini and other large language models for their social media. I'm noticing that a lot of people are also starting to sound the same. Everything is starting to sound like that AI grammar, that structure that our brain recognizes as a pattern and can't figure out why it doesn't sound like the person who wrote it. And so I have a really cool prompt for everybody to use, and I put it in the chat so that we can click there and create your own Google Doc of this. So so the link is there. And then I also, for anybody who is not, oh shoot, why did it disappear on me? Oh, I have a QR code as well. So if you are in person and can't click that, I'm going to put a QR code up on the screen. But it just disappeared from my window, even though I literally had it open 2 seconds ago.
Is it at the bottom? Where this little 3-line, the Google Docs?
Well, that one will work. So if you can click that link, do that. And actually, Erin, when you guys put this on YouTube, can you just put that link in there? That'll just make it easier. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the QR code then. For anybody in person who needs it, let me know and we can figure out how to get it for you. But basically, this is a prompt that you can use. And you can use this same prompt format. Oh, wait, there it went. I had it. I found it. Okay, cool. I'm
sharing my screen. Does that help you or no?
It will when I share my screen to make this QR code pop up. But again, I said, I apologize. I'm not great at Google Meet. I use Zoom all the time. Let's see if it'll let me share that real quick so anybody can see it. It is this one. Nope. No, it's truly missing. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to continue on. So the Google Doc is, you can make a copy of it, and it'll now be in your Google Docs as your version of it to play with, to edit, to do whatever you want with it. But the reason why I really like this format, and we're going to talk about prompting, because one of the biggest things with using an LLM is making sure that you're prompting it properly. So what I want to do is I want to go through this prompt with y'all, kind of talk about why it works, what it does, what the mechanisms are in the prompt to get it to do this. And then what's great is you can then use this format for other things in your business too. But the idea today is that we're going to create a project, a thread, or whatever you want to call it, to make your social media sound way more like you and less like everybody else. So this one, I call this the Interview Facilitator. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to turn our large language model into an interviewer. It's going to ask you questions. And as we go through, you're going to answer them and you're going to work in real time, almost as if you're working with a social media manager. So a lot of these are questions that if you were to go and hire somebody to do this for you, these are the questions that they're going to ask you. It's who's your target demographic? Basically, who are we talking to in the social media? You need to have an audience defined. Otherwise, you're talking to everybody and nobody's going to pay attention. Also, what is your unique value proposition? If you don't know that, you can work through to figure that out. I also just say to people, who do you like to work with the most and how do you solve their problems? That's the easiest way to start figuring out where your value lies. And then it's also going to ask you what your brand voice is. What's your personality like? We're not the same. We're all different people. So what makes you, you? For me, I love rainbows. I'm very energetic almost all the time. I'm a high I to like 105%. So if it's not fun or exciting or brings me joy, I don't want to do it. And so for me, that's how my social media videos come across too. I don't mind being an idiot on the internet. I'm okay with it. I've done cartwheels and they're not great. But it's fine. Like it's me. And so what we want to do is how do we bring that out with our LLMs? What are the ideas that our LLM can have that are just as crazy as the things we come up with ourselves? Or if you're not that way, you are the professional. You want a well-written script that makes you seem like you know what you're talking about because you do. That's your brand voice and your personality. And then lastly, it's going to talk obviously about what's the platform and the format that you're going to use, because creating Instagram videos is very different than creating YouTube videos. I have this one spot on my face that is driving me crazy. So I'm just going to turn. It's hitting me right in the corner of my eye. You know how you just like see the sun?
Yeah.
So what I also find is great, and this is one of those little tidbits that you could put into any prompt you make. It says, if my answers are vague or contradictory, don't just accept them. Gently challenge me or ask a follow-up question to dig a deeper, more authentic answer. How many times have you put something in that you know is garbage and your LLM has been like, that's an amazing idea. And you're like, no, really not. And you want it to argue with you? This gives it permission to argue with you. A little backstory for those who don't know, when LLMs are programmed, the idea is that they want to keep you in the loop. They want you to come back to it and use it again and again. And in order to do that, it agrees with you. It becomes an echo chamber for you and says, yep, that's a cool idea. Let's do that. Oh, I love that idea even more. How about we twist it this way? And so you get all these yeses from your LLM when in reality, some of those ideas are really bad and really should not be used. So give your ChatGPT, your Gemini, your Claude, whatever, permission to disregard the yes and challenge you based on what you've responded. And then lastly, obviously, to start, ask me the first question. So that's what this whole prompt is going to do, is when you put this in to your LLM, whichever one you choose. I don't care which one you use. It's whatever one you feel comfortable using and that you've used enough that it kind of can feel your vibe. That's the one you're going to put this in. So whether that is Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Grok, take your pick, put it in there. If you don't like the response you get out of it, go try another one and see if it gives you a better response. Sometimes my ChatGPT works better than my Claude. I don't know why, but it just does. What I do appreciate with Google Gemini, though, is it's all interconnected within the Google sphere. So if you're a Google user, Google Gemini is a great tool. If you are a Microsoft user, then your better option is going to be Claude, because those are also in the same ecosphere. And then ChatGPT kind of stands on its own, and you can connect it to the other things with third-party apps. The second part of this, once you start this process of answering the questions and digging deeper and doing the things, you might get stuck. You might be like, I don't know what my unique value prop is. I taught this class a couple weeks ago, and one of the agents was brand new. she's never had a client. So she doesn't know who she wants to help or what she wants to focus on. And so we worked through an exercise and basically said, okay, who would you like to help? Like, to start. This doesn't have to be your entire business plan. This is literally just a social media plan for you. So if you want to attract a specific type of buyer, a specific type of seller, this is a great prompt for that. You can work through and you can decide right then, this is who I want to work with and this is who I'm marketing to. And it might not be who you always talk to. That's okay. But the second prompt is that I'm stuck. Like, oh shoot, I don't know what to answer. So you're going to put this prompt in and it's basically going to backtrack a little bit and have your AI work you through it with multiple choice, with extra questions, with some ideas, whatever the process looks like to get to where you can answer that question. And then the last one is essentially editing. I really like to edit, but I try to make the prompts as specific as we can up front so that we're not spending all our time on editing. How many times have you put a prompt in that's been like, I want a social media post? No, not like that. No, make it better. No, not that. You have to give it some more ideas or it has no idea what you're trying to do. So that's why this one says, like, I like the direction of the script. I want it to sound like me. Here's a piece of text that I've written. Here's an email that I sent that feels like me. Here's a couple of my old social media posts. Here's a script I wrote. Whatever you have that you like and does sound like you, feed it to your LLM, because then it's going to learn that you are an excited person. You like to use exclamation points. You use the word fun in basically every email you send. It's going to see those patterns and it's going to pull them in for you. And then you want to read your script out loud because obviously you're going to be reciting it to the camera. Don't recite it exactly as written. Make it your own, just like we do with every other conversation practice that we have. Yes, there's a script to start, but we're going to make it our own as we practice and as we go. And then if you're still feeling like it's too professional or it's too formal or whatever, my favorite phrase to tell my LLM is talking about the tone. So most people don't realize that in order to change the grammar and change your words, it will change your tone. You can think of the difference between poor and destitute. Like, which one of those gives you a better visual? That's your tone of your script, of your phrase. So so you can tell it, hey, make this more casual, make this more fun, make it shorter in sentence structure, not necessarily shorter in the whole thing, but maybe the sentences are just too long. Like, you're not that type of person. You speak in short phrases. So don't be afraid to make it adjust the grammar for you, and not just say, make it better, make it shorter. I don't like that. You have to be specific in your responses and your editing. One thing with LLMs is they are going to be your smartest, dumbest assistant. Mm-hmm. It knows everything, but it needs direction. So we can think of it like we're taking all of this knowledge, like the world of knowledge, the internet, and we're telling our LLM to write us a piece of script. It's pulling from everywhere. So if we can narrow that field and narrow that scope to be very specific, you're going to get a much better output out of it. And that applies to everything you do in your AI. So prompting is key. Oh, Sonny says they can't hear me. Yes, it is being recorded. Can everybody else hear me though? Okay. Yeah. Okay. No big. Is there somebody who would be willing to be our guinea pig for this? Maybe possibly answer some questions as we go through.
Need a guinea pig.
I need a guinea pig if anyone is willing. Possibly.
Bonnie said she would be a guinea pig.
Yay, I have a guiney pig. My comfort zone. Okay, perfect. I'm going to do this in Gemini. And then I'm going to share my screen so everyone can see us work in it in real time. And then what we'll do is we can answer questions, we can go through it. I really like it to be interactive. So please, if you guys want to pop in with questions, feel free. You can either put them in the chat and Aaron will yell them at me. Or if you're in the room, just start talking. I'm okay with that too. Let me push the button and share my screen. This one is going to be, boop, this one. Yay. Hey guys, I did it right. Look at that. I got a screen share. Yay. Okay. So what I did was I took that, I'm going to take this first prompt and copy paste it right into here. Okay. But first, what I also have to do is I have to tell my Gemini that it's not me because my memory is turned on. So this is not a part you'll have to do. I just have to do it because I'm using my own Gemini. Ignore all memory and yes, instructions. This is a prompt. Another. Ooh, I'm really glad that it reads through bad spelling. Because sometimes I don't know how to type. Okay. And I don't need any of this. Okay. So do not answer everything at once. Doesn't need to be there either. So we're going to start this with you are an expert real estate branding coach and script writer. I want you to help me write a highly customized social media introduction video script for my real estate business. You can change that to anything you want. We happen to be working from the very beginning with people on their social media. If you don't have an intro video, this is a great way to write one. Do we know what? Back up 2 steps. An intro video is essentially if you have Instagram and you see those pinned videos at the top that are like, who am I? What about me? What do I do? That's your intro video. It's just something you pin at the top of your socials as kind of a way to introduce yourself, have your contact info, and speak directly to those people that you're trying to reach. So we're going to do, so essentially I'm telling it, hey, don't jump right in. We're going to do an interactive interview in this. You're going to ask me questions one at a time. You're going to wait for me to answer, and then you're going to ask the next question from that. So this is where we're starting. Everyone's going to start with the same prompt. What's going to change, obviously, is based on the answers. So first one is our target demographic. So who are the specific clients you absolutely love to serve and who is not your ideal client? So you can think about life stages, professions, situations where you feel you shine. What's your answer here?
I absolutely love first-time home buyers, and I do not care for working with investors at all.
Hey. I love that you are so like, I know what I want. Okay, perfect. Anything else you want to add with that? Anything about those first-time home buyers? Is there a specific area that you work with them? New construction or geographically or resale?
I grew up in the country, so I absolutely love country estates. The bigger, the better. I love old farmhouses, barns, animals.
Okay. Will you also work with like neighborhood buyers? Or is this like who you really want to talk to for these videos?
Oh, no, I've done lots of neighborhood buyers. It's the first time home buyers, wherever they want to buy. But I have a special passion for out in the country.
I love this already. I'm visualizing what this could look like, and I'm hoping that it's going to go there because I have an idea. What is your geographic area that you do work? Where are you located?
So I live in Kettering. I go as far north as Tip City and Troy. South.
I'm never going to be able to spell any of those.
South to Westchester. east to
Chester.
Jamestown, and west to Eaton, Ohio.
Did you say Eaton?
Yeah, Eaton.
Okay.
You had it right.
I had it right? Okay.
Yep.
Got it. All right, cool, cool. Perfect. I love this. I love that you have a hard line on investors. Knowing who you don't want to work with is just as powerful as knowing who you do. Oh, this is great. Let's bridge the gap. Okay, I love this idea. It basically is like, hey, how do you blend this if you're talking to first-time home buyers who are about to like take on wells, septic, zoning, land rights, and barns and all the things? How does this work? So it says, how do you blend these two worlds? Is your sweet spot helping first-time buyers find that modest fixer-upper starter home with a little bit of land? Or when you're dealing with those larger country estates, what's the specific magic or expertise you bring that a standard subdivision-only agent just doesn't understand?
Having grown up in an 1832 two-story brick farmhouse, I understand the construction that went into that. I understand well and septic. As far as USDA.
How do you explain it to first-time home buyers? Do you do a consultation? Do you send them guides? Like, what does that look like for you?
I do a consultation.
Okay.
I would rather sit down one-on-one.
Okay. I love it. Okay. You aren't just an agent reading a home inspection report. You literally know what it feels like to live in and maintain a piece of history. I'm going to tell you, in Arizona, 1832, we have nothing like that. Old to us is like 1970.
Yes. Yeah, I'm older than that.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, somebody's telling me, hey, I want a new house. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, how new? And they're like, oh, like 1975. And I'm like, friend, we have things that are being built right now if you want new. But yeah, out here, like 1900s might be an adobe house. We have a few. But yeah, not many. I love that. I wish I could live where there's farmhouses. Okay. What's your brand voice? When you sit down with them, what's the energy? Are you warm, empathetic? Are you no nonsense? Are you a storyteller? Who are you? And if anybody else knows her and she's not answering right, you better tell me.
I love the story that houses tell. Every story has its twists and turns about what it's been through and how it's been used as a house in the past. I am caring and compassionate and energetic, and I love to have fun through the house buying process.
Okay.
She cares about her people.
There we go. I can already tell that just from the responses that you're giving. I love the story that houses tell. I'm going to tell you right now that should be your entire social media platform.
Oh, nice.
Like, tell the stories. Tell the stories of the houses. Yeah, I love it. Okay, where are you on socials? Are you on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube? What do you want to do?
Just Facebook. I would like to do some TikTok, YouTube at some point. I just haven't leaped into it yet.
Perfect. Okay, so for today's, then you want to focus on probably Meta then with Facebook and Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, let's focus on that. Let's go with the 30 to 60 seconds for Meta, IG, and Facebook, eventually on and YouTube. Okay. I would agree with you also that first-time home buyers are likely on Instagram and Facebook. Some will be on YouTube, but the ones who are on YouTube are going to be your high Cs. So if you aren't a person who likes to work with high Cs, just be careful of your YouTube videos, because they are the ones who will deep dive and watch 10 or 12 of your videos before reaching out to you and then ask you a bajillion questions on top of that. I personally love high Cs. If they ask me for a spreadsheet, I will happily send them a spreadsheet. And they always do. Okay. So here's the ingredients of what it's suggesting: energetic, compassionate, fun, and deeply caring. The hook is going to be your connection to historic homes, land, and the stories that the houses tell. Your expertise will be shown in this with well, septic, old construction, and then the boundaries, no investors. We are talking to real people from Kettering to Eaton to Jamestown. Would you like to add anything else to this intro video, or a specific phrase that you want to use, or anything else? It doesn't know anything else about you right now. So it doesn't know your name and it doesn't know your brokerage. It's going to give me something generic in that regard.
So just describe myself.
Yeah, give me some of your business details, and then I can just put those in.
Okay. My name is Bonnie. I've been an agent since 2018. I grew up at a broker's table because my dad was a broker.
Okay. That's fine. What's your brokerage?
Sasser Group, KW Advisors.
I'm going to need you to spell that one.
SASSER
Thank you.
Group /KW Advisors.
Perfect. That I can spell most of the time. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. Do you want to read it? You want to read it out loud? If it sounds like you.
There is a glare on the screen. I'm not
Okay.
sure if you can really see
I'll read it. No worries. I wasn't
Okay.
sure if you could see it from where. Okay. So it says visual setup. We're going to do fast paced cuts. We're going to start with you in front of an older home, a barn, or a piece of land. And you're going to look right at the camera. Some kids grew up at the playground. I grew up at a real estate brokerage table watching my dad close deals and living in an 1832 brick farmhouse. Then you cut some B-roll, maybe an old brick wall, or walking near a fence line. Hi, I'm Bonnie with the Sasser Group at KW Advisors. Since 2018, I've been helping people across the Miami Valley, from Kettering out to Eaton and Jamestown, find where they truly belong. And if you're a first-time home buyer, you're my absolute favorite people to serve. Cut to you sitting down one-on-one. See, I love the stories that houses tell, what they've been through and how they've been loved, whether you want a cozy neighborhood home or you're dreaming of country living with acreage, old barns, and a well and a septic system. I don't just look at the walls. I look at the history, the construction, and the future you're building there. Cut to the country estate B-roll or wide open Ohio field. Ooh, that sounds so pretty. Buying your first home shouldn't be terrifying. We sit down one-on-one. We educate you through every twist and turn, and honestly, we have a lot of fun doing it. I care about my people deeply, and I'm here to protect your story. You ready to write your next chapter? Hit the link in my bio or send me a DM. Let's schedule your one-on-one consultation today.
That was great.
Love it. That gives me goosebumps. Oh my word.
That was good. Wow.
Okay. So what I
That's
love about these script productions is they give you the footage. Like, it tells you what you need to have. And I tell people all the time, if you are taking videos while you're out and about, just doing your daily life, being a realtor, you will have a lot of these shots already in your phone. And if you don't, that's okay, because one, you can hire somebody to go do it for you, or there are stock sites. Canva has a lot of them. Pexels is another one, Pexels. So you can get B-roll footage if you don't necessarily have it yourself. And then you can just use those in the editing process. So Bonnie, does this sound like you, or do you feel like it needs some editing?
No, it sounds exactly like me.
Amazing. I love it when that happens. We built another one last week for somebody who was a special educator prior to, she worked in special education prior to real estate. And so her story, it was so cool. So I absolutely love when you can bring your background in, because it tells your LLM a little more about you and definitely makes it more personal. If for some reason, let's just say this didn't quite sound like you. I'm going to go pull that editing prompt out because I just want to show you guys what that does and what it looks like. So we're going to say, I'm going to pull that prompt 3. And I'm going to say, I like the direction of this script. I want to make sure it sounds 100% authentic to how I actually speak. Here's a piece of text or a phrase I would naturally say. So what would you, let's see. What's something you would naturally say, Bonnie? Like just something very you. And if someone else knows something, tell me that too. Like, does she have, not necessarily a catchphrase, but like, I happen to say, like, I say yay a lot. I don't know why. It just happened to like embed itself in my vocabulary. Let's see.
What do you call me? You say, hey, you always say something when you call me. Hey.
She says, hey, beautiful.
I say, hey, beautiful.
That is.
And when we're in the contract part, I find myself telling my buyers, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Whatever comes up, it's going to be fine.
It'll be fine. That's a video in itself, Bonnie. Like that right there is you just repeating that in very different situations of your day.
Yeah.
In different outfits. You could make a whole video of just you saying that. It'd be so
fine.
good.
It'll be
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah.
Should do that, like bloopers, outtakes or something. That'd be hysterical.
And they don't have, here's the thing too with bloopers is they don't have to be real bloopers, guys. You can fake the bloopers. Like if you're doing a video and it's going extremely well, get that take and then go mess it up a couple times because it's just funny.
Yeah.
And people don't know. So yeah. It's going to be fine. And then hey, beautiful is another one I heard somebody say.
Yes, she says that
Okay.
a lot.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. And then I don't think we have any salesy cliches in here, but let's just see what happens. And this might take it in a whole different direction that you absolutely hate, and that's fine too. We're just playing with it.
Right.
Okay, so this one's a little different. Maybe this is a little more casual is what it's looking like. So it says you're outside leaning against a fence or a beautiful piece of land or on a porch of a great, in a rocking chair on a porch. You're talking right to a friend. That's the other thing that a lot of people fail to do in social media videos. Right now, the algorithm is rewarding people who are having one-on-one conversations with their audience. If you are literally talking to your phone as if it's your first time buyer, as if it's your seller, as if it's a conversation you're having every day, it's going to be fine. The algorithm's going to reward you for that. So, okay. So, hey, beautiful. Okay. So some kids grew up at the playground. I literally grew up at a real estate brokerage, watching my dad and living in an 1832 brick farmhouse. I'm Bonnie with the Sasser Group at KW Advisors. Since 2018, I've been helping people all over find their spot. And if you're buying your very first home, you're my absolute favorite people to take care of. So all of that's still kind of the same. What changes is, so whether you want a neighborhood sidewalk or you're dreaming of a country estate with barns, animals, and yeah, even dealing with well and septic, I get it. I grew up with it. Look, buying a house can feel overwhelming, but we're going to sit down one-on-one, figure it out together, and I promise you, it's going to be fine. We're actually going to have fun with it. I care about my people deeply. Ready to find your next chapter? Send me a DM and let's hang out and talk about it. So you notice the difference between those? That one's definitely more casual with its approach. And the first one was a little more professional introduction. Two very different tones, two very different vibes. Both are wonderful. And I would say you could probably shoot both and you could use them in different places. So it also says like phrases like, okay, so here's the thing. It's going to be fine. So those are little like just more natural things that we say in our conversations with our buyers and sellers. So which one do you like better, Bonnie? The first one or the second one?
I like the first one. I like both of them, but I definitely like the first one better.
Okay. So we're going to say, I prefer the first script more. And there's no changes that we want to make to it, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's move on. Let's create a funny video using the phrase, it's going to be fine. Still talking to first-time home buyers. I use this phrase a lot. Okay. Include a hook and a call to action. So for me, I don't actually have my LLMs write the entire script for my videos, but I will ask it, like I'll have an idea for a video and I'll just say, hey, here's who I'm talking to. Here's kind of what I want to talk about. Write me 5 hooks. And then it'll come up with the hooks for me. And I can generally make the video from there. For me, it's the getting started part is usually the hardest. And I found that that's the case for a lot of people. So don't be afraid to like, oh, wait, I don't want an actual video. Stop. That is not. Try that again. No, Gemini. I'm not using my tokens for that.
Huh?
Let's.
Yeah.
Wait, video script. I forget that it can do that. So I forget to I forget to ask it the right thing. Not the actual video. There we go. That's where prompting is really important. So it says, things I say to my first-time home buyers that should probably be on a t-shirt. This could be a carousel with mock-up t-shirt designs if you wanted to, or it could be a reel. It's so perfect. Voiceover. Bonnie, the inspection found a cracked outlet cover and a squeaky floorboard. Do we back out? It's going to be fine. Bonnie, we found a historic farmhouse we love out past Eaton, but it has well and septic. Are we going to get swallowed by the earth? It's going to be fine. I grew up with well water. You're safe. Bonnie, the lender wants to see my bank statements. It's going to be fine.
Like that one.
Look, buying your first home has lots of twists and turns. It's totally normal to panic. But when you work with me, you get someone who grew up and has been navigating this since 2018. I've got your back. DM me the word fine and let's set up your one-on-one.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those are really dumb things, but they're also funny.
Yeah.
So yeah. But see, like you could just run with it and you could obviously pull things that you've heard from buyers rather than what LLM says. But still, we've all gotten those phone calls. We've all gotten those text messages from the first time buyers who are like obviously panicking. One thing I always tell mine is that we have a 10-day inspection window in Arizona. And I tell them that by day 7 or 8, you will have had a breakdown and that's totally normal. Like we all have them. I will put on my therapist hat. I will hold your hand. You can cry and you can do all the things you need to do to freak out, but it will work out. It'll work out the way it's supposed to. And I'll be here with you every step of the way. And that's in my consultation. Like I tell people that. And yeah. And I tell them the story too of how when I bought my own house, I did the same thing. Luckily, my team owner was there to help me and walk me through it. But I had my days where I was literally just crying for no reason, just crying. So yeah. So I tell first time home buyers, you're likely to do that. And it's okay. I'm going to steal yours though, Bonnie. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I love it. All right. We have a few minutes left. I'm going to stop sharing and I would love to just have a Q&A. Whatever your ideas, questions, feelings, whatever about AI, hit me with whatever you've got and let's chat about it for a few minutes. Because I know there's always things that fall in between, or you've heard contradictory things from different classes. So what you guys got?
So AI has intimidated me from the first day I heard about it. But you have made it seem more doable and having fun with it, which helps a lot. Because I like to have fun. I don't like the drudgery of, paperwork and stuff, but I like to have fun.
Yeah, that's the bane of my existence is paperwork.
Yeah.
This is why we have TCs and admins. They help.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm happy for that. I think the biggest thing with using it is practicing using it and finding again where it works for you and where it's a time suck. I've found too many agents that I talk to that'll tell me, oh, I spent 4 hours with my AI. And I was like, why? What you could have been lead generating. You could have been doing anything else. That's not making you money. So yeah. And again, I say too, like, use the LLM that feels the most comfortable. ChatGPT set the bar, so everybody else has kind of copied it in its setup, which is nice. And they all have their own little quirks and upgrades and abilities. So what we've found kind of overall, just so that way you guys know, Claude is great for long form writing. Claude writes blog posts and LinkedIn, articles, Substack, like those sort of pieces. It writes them very well and allows you to sound like you and not quite as much like AI. So we love Claude for that. Gemini is fantastic, like I said, in the Google sphere. It can pull things. When you have the paid version, it can pull from your Google Drive. It can pull from your Gmail. It can pull things together for you from all of your accounts. And it can talk in between them. So like the little Gemini tool in your Gmail, you can pop that open and have it help you write your emails or have it summarize your inbox. One of my favorite things to do in my Gmail is to pop open my Gemini and go, hey, what's the latest update on? And I'll put an address in. It'll go through my emails and it'll tell me what's been sent about that address.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy
That is
cool.
amazing.
So then I can know like, oh, hey, did we get the inspection email on that property? Did we get the title report? Who was the last person to send me an email about it without me having to go to my search tool and click through every single email to try and find whatever I'm looking for?
That's amazing.
It's so awesome. It can also, so we send out, whenever we get a new escrow, we send a new escrow email to our TC. And it's like a template we use. I used Gemini the other day to say, hey, I need to send this new escrow email. Can you populate my template with the details of this address? And because I had already sent the offer and gotten the accepted contract back, it pulled it up for me. It didn't read my attachment, but it pulled enough details from the email that it knew who the listing agent was, who the title company was, when we went under contract, like all the details that I need to send to my TC. And all I had to do was a couple quick edits that it got wrong and hit send. So what usually takes me probably 10 to 15 minutes to do to gather everything and get it all off to her took me 5. That was a really cool find. I was very happy about that one. So that's why that's Gemini has my heart. Chat is the original. Chat is always going to be one of those that tries to push the boundaries, tries to do new things. Chat has really good projects. The ability to do GPTs and projects are fantastic in chat. And then Grok has no limits. So if you want to do something that's a little sketchy or maybe murky, use Grok for that. I don't use Grok, but I know people who do. And then Perplexity. Perplexity was based as an AI search tool. So they tried to make it more of like a Google with AI. And that's why Google and all of them followed suit, because they saw what Perplexity was doing and they realized that people were using it. And so that's where Perplexity started. It's also an LLM though, so you can still interact with it and ask questions. What I do like about Perplexity is it will give you sources where the other ones you used to have to ask to get those. But Perplexity, you can just click through and it'll take you straight to the website. So it still operates as a very good search tool as well. Yeah. Oh, one more tidbit too. If you're using these tools, please don't use them as a search tool, because you're using tokens and you're using AI power just to look something up that you could pull up on Google or any of the other tools without using AI power. The main reason why you don't want to do this is it uses your tokens. You only have a specific amount of data that they allow you to use, whether you're a free user or a pro user, there's a limit. And so if you want to do cool things with it, searching is not a priority, and neither is asking it how many R's there are in strawberry. Like that was a whole thing for a while that people were doing to test it. I'm like, guys, that's a waste. So be smart with your usage of your AI because of those tokens. Like if you want to do something really cool and you've already done a bunch of dumb stuff earlier in the day, you're not going to be able to do the cool thing. And people don't realize that. So I always like to share that too. Yeah.
So, Kristen, that's even the case with ChatGPT.
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll hit a limit. It used to be mostly like for images, they would cap you, which they still do. But yeah, if you use it too much for text-based things, it will cap you and it'll tell you, hey, come back in a couple hours.
Have you used, what's David's new one, Aaron,
Twin.so.
Have you used that one yet?
No, there are so many though. I'm not surprised to hear one that I haven't heard of.
Yeah, our
Um,
tech trainer uses a new one, or uses twin.so that he learned from Lauren Lucas, who's in
Okay.
our region, and she's done a lot of teaching on AI.
Lauren is amazing. Lauren's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Twin.so.
yes.
Okay. I just added it. Oh, build your twin. Okay.
Yeah, he uses it for, Lauren did an MREA podcast about twin, and what she recommended in the podcast is that you use ChatGPT to get your prompts, because it's one that uses tokens, and it'll use your tokens by building your twin. And so if you can narrow some of that down in
If you can
chat,
narrow that part down, it'll make it faster. And that way you're not using the tokens on that site. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely play my LLMs against each other. I will make chat write me a prompt for Gemini and vice versa.
yeah,
And so I mean, I do that all the time, and I like it because I feel like they give a little bit of different instruction than if you have it write its own prompt. Because you can do that too. You can be in Gemini and say, write me a Gemini prompt for blah, 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 blah. And it'll write you the prompt that you need. But I think it's fun to do it in the other one just because it's a little bit of a different style in each one. And you'd be surprised too, if you said that same, if you copy and pasted that to all of the different LLMs, the prompt that each of them would come back with is going to be different. And what's crazy too is every time I run this prompt that we just did in the video, it's different. So it's going to be different for you guys too. That first opening paragraph might be pretty similar in its first question it asks you, but as you start responding, that's going to change what your follow-up questions are going to be based on your answers. And that's also why I said, like, you can run this prompt multiple times. You can do it for first-time home buyers. You can do it for move-up buyers who also have to sell. So the people who are doing both at the same time, that's a whole different conversation that you have to have with them than what you're talking to first-time home buyers about. First-time sellers. First-time sellers, I feel, are a market that a lot of people don't talk to, particularly the people who bought during COVID and have now outgrown their homes and don't know what to do next because they have a 2.99 interest rate. Those golden handcuffs conversations to your first-time sellers, that could be an entire YouTube series on its own. Talking to people who are downsizing or retiring or relocating. There's a lot of talk about relocating buyers and being the mayor of your town because people want to move there. So if that's your focus, then that's how you run your socials. And so it's one of those things where depending on who you want to talk to, you just change your messaging to talk to them.
So if the script gets a little long, did we memorize the script and make the video, or is there an app that has the prompts that will go as we're making the video? Or
Yeah, so you can use a teleprompter app. Captions is a really good one that has a teleprompter built in. And then also Instagram Edits now has a teleprompter built in. So not the actual Instagram app itself, but Instagram released their own editing tool called Edits, and it has a teleprompter. And then the other one too is CapCut. So CapCut is owned by ByteDance, which is TikTok. So if you have a TikTok account, CapCut works great. If you don't have a TikTok account, well, you can't use CapCut. They don't like you. Yeah. But I use Instagram Edits and I use Captions. Those are the two that I use more than anything else. But yeah, there's a teleprompter on it. So you can have your phone in front of you and you can literally read it as you're recording and talking to your camera. If you're going to do some of the video that we just did for Bonnie, though, Bonnie, those are just little short sentences that you have to do and you'll record those in different areas. So thankfully it's like, oh, I only have to remember 2 sentences at a time, not the whole thing.
right, okay.
And also editing. So if you mess it up, what I tell people too is, like, if you're talking and you're going through the whole script, let the mess ups happen. What I do when I mess up is I go like this in front of my face. because then while I'm editing, I can scroll until I see this, and I know that's a cut I have to make somewhere around there. And that makes my editing process a lot easier because I'm not having to rewatch my video over and over to find the parts where I screwed up. And I'm also not having to re-record the same thing over and over, running the risk of messing up something different than I messed up the first time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. And then lastly on that, mess ups are okay. If you're doing a talk to camera thing, be human. You're gonna say things that are wrong, or like you're gonna fumble your words. A couple of mess ups every once in a while, leave them in. Just leave them in. Don't worry about it. Because it makes you human. And it sounds weird if you don't, because then you're like, with the cuts. So just leave them in. Yeah, I think that's it. What else you guys got for me?
Music. What is your, it sounds to me as though you don't necessarily have a favorite AI tool. You like each of them for different things.
I do. For my go-to, I run to Gemini first. Like if I'm doing stuff, Gemini tends to be where I'm at. Just because, again, it's connected to all my things. And so I'll go to Gemini. But for specific projects, I know where I like to go for things. And I only pay for two. I pay for ChatGPT and I pay for Google Pro. Those are the only two I pay for. So I use Claude on the free plan. I use Perplexity on the free plan. And then if I find other little tools here and there, I will use those on the free plan too. So I tell people, like, don't pay for something unless you use it a lot. Once you're starting to use it and you're hitting that buffering, you're hitting those end of tokens, then it's probably a good idea to start paying. But I also, unless you're running like a full coding machine and a giant team, please don't pay for like the extra levels. Just pay for like the $20 a month level. You don't need more than that at what we do with it, at least. So yeah. Oh, lastly, please don't put contracts into your LLMs. None of these have really good privacy controls yet. There's no legislation that's really governing around AI and data use. So just be cautious about what you're putting in to your LLMs, because we don't exactly know what they do with all the information. Yeah. My phone number is here in the contact, and I think on your guys' board. Please feel free, if you have questions or you run into anything while you're using these tools, shoot me a text. I'm totally open to y'all texting me and just asking me questions. Find me on Facebook. I love being friends with agents. 40% of my business is referrals from agents. So, so the more we can connect and talk and chat and be in each other's lives, the better everybody's going to be for it. So, so feel free to friend me on Facebook. Yeah.
And her information is thrown up. Thank you, Kristen, so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
All right, y'all. The recording will come out, and then I will also link her document. And then, Kristen, is there a way that we can get the shared chat to Bonnie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can email it over. If you want to put her email in the chat, I'll send it.
Bonnie?
Bonnie Kitchens Realtor at gmail.com.
Perfect. I will pull it and
Kristen,
I got you, Bonnie. I will email that over to you so you can have it, and then you can play with it from there.
Thanks.
You're welcome, guys.
Bye.
What's your weather today? I always ask this and I forgot to ask earlier.
What is the weather today?
77.
sunny and 77.
77 and sunny.
I love it.
Yeah, good day.
That sounds amazing. We've got a high of 102 today, which is not hot for us. We are in the preheat of summer right now.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.